Hello, my name is Sean and I'll be doing a tutorial on Know Your Way. So this one's a very orientation based heavy module. We'll get right into this module here. So the first thing we gotta do is see what each part, which is the green LED right there, the arrow pointing down, the upper button, which is the topmost button, and the U button, which is on the left, indicate which direction is which. So for our LED, we're going to follow this table. We're going to go row by row, well, column by column in each row, and go and use the one which first condition applies. So if the button labeled U is left, yes, the button labeled U is definitely left, so we're going to use this first condition. So the green LED indicates where down is, which I'll place down here. Next, the arrow, which I'll label as ARR. If the arrow points in the opposite direction of the LED, no. And opposite direction means, well, if this is pointing down, then obviously opposite would be pointing up. If the LED points to the button labeled R, no, it's pointing to the button labeled L. If the LED doesn't point right, well, the LED isn't pointing right, so this is the first condition that applies. So our arrow indicates where left is, which I'll place down right here. Next, the upper button indicates where, well, if the LED points down, which it is pointing down, so this is our first condition that applies, so I'll use UPP for upper button. So our upper button indicates where down is. And finally, our U button, which labels UUU, if the arrow points to the U button, no. If the LED doesn't point to D or U, which it doesn't, it's pointing to L. So this is our first condition, in which case this is pointing up. So these are all the different symbols and where their directions are indicating. So now we're going to use these and go to table 2. So we're going to go down in this checklist, and for each box we're going to deal with the LED, the arrow, then finally upper and U button orientation. And we got to press the button, the direction button, in accordance with the orientation of said, well, symbol or whatever you like to call it. So for our first button, and there'll be a total of 4 buttons we have to press. So for our first button, use up arrow if the arrow indicates the same direction as the LED. No, they are both different. Otherwise, right if the upper button indicates the same direction as the LED, which it does, they both indicate down. So this is the condition that applies. So we're going to use right, but it's going to be right in the orientation of the LED. So since it's pointing down, this would be left, then this would be up, and this would be right. So the button we have to press is this button, which is we're going to label as right. Next is second button, arrow orientation. I'm going to tell you right now that if the direction that indicates is different from any of the other ones, you use the fourth case, which is use up if the arrow indicates a unique direction. So the arrow does indicate a unique direction, so the fourth case always applies. So we're going to use up. So if the arrow is indicating left, we're going to turn our head 90 degrees so that we can see that the arrow is pointing left. So that means this would be up in our orientation to the arrow. So this is the button we have to press, which is going to be left. Next, our upper button notation. Well, upper button is the same as the LED. So we're going to find LED. There it is. LED indicates the same direction as the upper button, which it does. So we're going to press left in the orientation of the upper button. So if the upper button indicates down, if we go one clockwise, this should be left right here. So the next button we have to press is right. So right now we have right, left, right. And then finally, our fourth button, the U. The U button indicates up. So it also indicates a unique direction. So the fourth case applies. So we're going to press down if the U button indicates a unique direction. So if this is up, opposite of up is down, so opposite of left is right. So we got to press this button, which is the right button. So our final button sequence is right, left, right, right. And that's a solved module. Alright, we'll do this again. Make it faster here. Oops, not the scroll wheel I wanted. Do that. Okay, button labeled U is left. No, if the arrow points right, it's pointing left. If the direction of the arrow and LED are different, they are. So this is our first thing. So our LED indicates left in this case. Next, okay. The arrow indicates where, okay, if the arrow points in the opposite direction of the LED, which it does, so the arrow is going to indicate down for its orientation. Next, we have the upper button. If the LED points down, no. If the arrow doesn't point to L or R, which it doesn't, so that's going to indicate up. And then finally, we have the U button. So if the arrow points to U, but no. If the LED doesn't point to D or U, but it does. If the arrow doesn't point down, it's not pointing down. So this is the first case, so it's indicating left. All right. Next, we have, let's see. LED is the same as U button, so we're going to find U button, which is right here. Same direction as LED, so we're going to do down. So if LED indicates left, and we need to press down, let's see, if we go one counterclockwise, this would be down, so we press the up key first. Upper key first. Second button, let's see, the arrow orientation is unique, so fourth case applies. So we're going to press up, so if the arrow indicates down, which means up would be this button right here, so we have to press the right button. Next, third button, using the upper button. Upper button indicates a unique direction, so we're going to press right. The upper button indicates up, so right would be right here. So we're going to press right button. And then finally, the U button orientation is the same as the LED. We're going to find the LED. There it is. LED indicates the same direction as the U button. So we're going to use left here. So let's see here. U button is right here. It indicates left, so this is the button we have to press if we're trying to press left. So that's going to be up, right, right, right. Another soft module. So here's how Diffuser and Expert would work on it. Okay. So obviously there's only three pieces of information that the diffuser has to give us. First is the position of the LED, then the arrow, then finally the position of the U button. So the LED, he's going to tell us, okay, the LED is in the up position. The arrow is in the right position. Of course, the upper button is always going to be in the up position. And finally, we have the U button is in the right position. Now, special thing about this, the U button and all these orientation buttons will always go in clockwise order, U, R, D, and L, staying for up, right, down, left. So, knowing that, we can deduce some information. We know if UUU is right, so U button's in the right direction, that means R is going to be down here. Down's going to be right here. I'll scroll this over. Actually, like that. And left is up here. And you can make a little chart like this if you want, which is why I made up, right, down, left. So I can go in clockwise order. Okay, up's in the right, which means right's going to be down here, then down's over here, then left is finally here. We can scroll down by one. There we go. Make it nice and clean. So, by looking at this, okay, the LED indicates where let's see. If the button labeled U is left, no, it's not. If the arrow points right, it does, because, you see, our arrow is pointing right, as our diffuser told us. So our LED is going to indicate up, which what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from U and copy 4 letters and do this. This will help me do a couple things when I get to it. So next, the arrow. If the arrow points in the opposite direction of the LED, no. If the LED points to the button labeled R, well, this is pointing up. Up is going to lead to left, as we just constructed our little buttons here. So no, that's not going to be it. If the LED doesn't point right, the LED isn't pointing right, so this is our first case. So our arrow is going to indicate left, which I'm going to do something like this. I'll take the first letter of which is left here and copy 4 letters. Next, we have the upper button. If the LED is pointing down, no, it's not. If the arrow doesn't point to L or R, see the arrow. So the arrow is pointing right. All right. So arrow's pointing right. It's the same as pointing to the U button. So it doesn't point to L or R. So this is the first case. So upper button is going to indicate up in this case. And finally, the U button. If the arrow points to the U button, which it does, because we have arrows signifying right and the arrow is pointing towards the U button, or you can see both of these are R. So in this case, the U button is going to indicate down, which I'll go find the first D and then copy 4 letters, and there we go. So here's what I like to do. So for LED orientation, it's going to be the same as our upper button. Actually, no, I'm reading this wrong. We have to copy this part. So again, it's still the same as the upper button here because they indicate the same direction. So we're going to find the same as upper button, which is right here. Upper button indicates the same direction as LED, so we're going to use right. LED is pointing up, so take your finger and point up. So this is where the LED is pointing at. And then for every time you have to move a space to get to the symbol where you need, which is the R here, you're going to move 1 clockwise. So we only had to move 1 clockwise to get to right. So now where your finger is pointing, that's the button you have to press. So that's going to be right. Next, okay, arrow orientation. Arrow orientation is unique, so we're going to press up. So arrow is indicating, let's see, arrow is pointing right, so we're going to point right with our finger. And we have to, and our arrow is indicating left, so our next direction is going 1 clockwise, which is now our finger's pointing down. We are now pointing at up, so that means where our finger is, we have to press that button, which is going to be the down key in this case, the down button. Next, upper button. So upper button's always going to have your finger point up. It's the same direction as LED, so find LED. There's LED right there. LED indicates the same direction as upper button, so we're going to press left. So upper button is indicating up. We're going to take our finger, point up in the direction that it is. Then let's see. We're going to go 1 clockwise, 2 clockwise, 3 clockwise to get to L, which is the button we need to press. And wherever our finger is where we need to press. So that's going to be the left button. And then finally, the U button. U button indicates a unique direction. So we're going to press down. Our U button is facing right. We need to go down. The U button is already pointing at down, so that means we got to press the right key. So this is our final sequence, which is right, down, left, right. So right, down, left, right. In our solved module. Okay, we'll do this again. It helps using your finger to go in clockwise motions. It's a little bit hard, but you can do the trick. So we have LED is pointing down, arrow is pointing left. Then we have upper button facing always up, and then the upper button is facing up as well. Take that away. Alright, refresh. Okay, so U button is facing up, so that's going to give me U up here. Then, let's see, right and left is going to be like, no, it's going to be left then right, then down. Let's make a bigger space here. There we go, make it much cleaner, because it's going up, then right, then down, then left. Clockwise order. So, if the button labeled U is left, no. The arrow points right, it's pointing left. If the direction of the arrow and LED are different, which it is, so this is our first condition, LED is going to indicate left. We're going to take the first indication of left, copy 4 letters, there we go. Next, if the arrow points in the opposite direction, no. If the LED points to the button labeled R, it's pointing down, that's going to be down, so no. If the LED doesn't point right, the LED is not pointing right, so this is our next indication. So arrow is also pointing towards left. So next, upper button, let's see, if the LED is pointing down, yes, it's pointing down, so that means the upper button is going to indicate down. Copy the first D and do 4 letters. And finally, U button, if the arrow points to U button, let's see, arrow is pointing left, nope. If the LED doesn't point to D or U, it is pointing to D or U, so that doesn't apply. If the arrow doesn't point down, the arrow is pointing left, so this is correct. So our U button is going to indicate left, so we're going to take our first indication of left, copy 4 letters. Alright. So now it's all a matter of which one goes first. So we have the LED orientation. Our LED is the same as 2 other ones. Let's see which one's first. If the arrow indicates, yes, okay, so the arrow is going to be first. So we're going to press up. So point our finger down. This indicates left. We have to go 1 clockwise. Now it's facing towards the up. So we gotta press the left key to do up. Next, arrow. Let's see. Arrow is the same as the LED and U button, whichever comes first. So U button comes first. The LED comes next. So let's see, U button is going to be down. Our arrow is pointing left, so let's point left in that direction. Let's see, no, left is this way. So we're pointing left. Our arrow is going to indicate left. So we got pressed down. We have to go 3 clockwise or 1 counterclockwise, and that will lead us point our finger down. So our next button to press is down. Next, third button. Our upper button is unique, so we're going to press right. So upper button indicates up. So upper button is facing up, indicating down. So we gotta go 3 clockwise or 1 counterclockwise. That's going to be left button. So left, down, left. And then finally, U button orientation. U button is the same as arrow or LED or arrow. So first one that happens, which is LED is first. So we're going to use left here. U button is facing up, indicating left. So that means we gotta press the up button or the, there we go. So we have left, down, left up. But let's say if we screw up, we do left and then right. Well, of course we get a strike. But what happens is the input has been reset. So you have to go from the starting sequence left up, left down, left up. So left down, left, up, and that's a solve module. So I hope all of you enjoyed this tutorial, and until then, keep talking and don't explode.